Oh my gosh! When I used to bring people to the doctor's office when I worked at the assisted living facility, I would fall asleep. I would wait in that waiting room. I mean, 2 seconds, boom, I'd be out. It was the most boring thing in the world.
Waiting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Not that. It's just, they ask questions and I don't know the answers to any of it. And then if I don't answer, if I don't give a full report back to my wife, it's just like, ended.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of funny.
It's just not worth it for me. Just, all have our roles to play.
Hey, today we have an 8:20, just so you know. It's Senator Keith Perry. Senator Keith Perry coming on after you, Galen. So
all right, it's interesting. He's in for a battle right now with the doctor. What's her name? I can't remember her name.
I can't remember her name.
He's they're both from Gainesville, which is kind of interesting because their territory, the way it breaks down, is basically Marion County and Alachua County, and I'll be curious to see how that race ends up.
Yeah, he's been in here before. I don't think she has, though.
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
no, she wouldn't. She would never drive down to Ocala.
Too many nails in the road.
No, she went to Gainesville High School and went to UF and worked at Shands, and
hey, I have a question to ask you about your play-by-play.
Sure.
The guy in the background that we hear sometimes, if you're taking a breath and you can hear another play-by-play guy, is that Larry Fuqua?
You mean like the announcer?
Yeah.
Now, there's a color guy, which is Milton or Pat.
Okay.
You're talking about the guy who's doing the... I have a color guy. I'm not sure.
You have a color guy.
Yeah, not your color guy.
In the background, when I hear somebody else like calling or saying something, is that Larry Fuqua?
That's Larry.
Okay.
Sometimes it's Larry, but I know the last game it was Larry.
Okay.
I've known Larry since I was very, very young. He was he used to do play-by-play with my father. They used to do baseball games together back in the 80s and 90s. So that's how far back.
Well, there was one moment when I heard you say, Larry Fuqua just said whatever, and then you said, but that's not what happened, and so you disagreed with whatever he said, and I thought that was interesting. Okay. I found that interesting. It's just fun to listen to.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. I mean, we're both. Again, that's the beauty of sports. Or I guess anything in life is you can look at the exact same thing and come away with a completely different opinion. So,
yeah. But does it make you question? Does it make you question your own judgment? I mean, do you say, "Wait a minute, he said something different than what I think"? Do you just say, "No, he's wrong," or do you say, "Well, maybe I'm wrong"?
It depends on the situation. But I'm a pretty confident individual. It gets me into trouble all the time.
Do you and Pat disagree?
Yeah, and I like to disagree. I think it makes it interesting. I think when you and I and Robin disagree on the subject, I think it makes it interesting as long as you come from a point of respect and you understand it. Yeah. Just because you happen to not agree with me doesn't mean A, you're wrong, and B, that you're not intelligent enough to even have an opinion.
There you go.
That's when it gets into an issue.
That's what the whole country needs to be doing when you disagree with something. I mean, ultimately, what do you want from a football game? You want a great game. You want everybody to walk out of there safe and feeling like they had a competitive moment. Even if you lost, you're not going to be happy, but at least you had a good, healthy, competitive moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a conversation last night with my mom, and my mom is on the complete opposite end of the political scale than I am. And we were talking about how when in politics did it become just so, if you don't agree with me or because you have a different opinion, you're a moron and I can't, you have no value. And it goes way back. I mean, if you look at it, it goes, pre-Nixon and pre-JFK. And, I read a lot about, Lincoln and the battles he had with even Frederick Douglass, and the battles they had because, Frederick Douglass called Abraham Lincoln morally corrupt because of his views that he wasn't willing to just absolutely abolish slavery from the get-go. And those are the kinds of things that I think it just degrades our society as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So.
Yeah, that's it. I was going to disagree just for the fun of it, but you're right.
No, respect.
Yeah.
So how was the Red Sox game last night?
It was fantastic, Larry. They're up 2-0. Another great job. Again, and I said this, it wouldn't have mattered who we played. Once we got past the Yankees and the Astros, there was no doubt whoever won out of the American League was going to win, because the National League just isn't as good as the American League right now. And that's not a slight. These things they're cyclical, right? I mean, there were years with the Big Red Machine where the National League won like 10 years in a row.
So how many games?
And right now, there's 2 more games. I think there'll be 2, but it's 2-0 Red Sox. It's a best-of-7 series, so first team to 4 wins, and I think it'll be over maybe Saturday.
So when and where is the next game?
L.A. Same time, 8:09 local time.
Today?
So no, tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Friday night. So you can watch the Red Sox on TV and listen to me call the Vanguard game.
Yeah, you're going to have a dual duty tomorrow night.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's gonna be
Radio
tough.
going.
Well, the good news is my hope, and I actually told Pat this yesterday. My hope is that Vanguard gets to a running clock against Forest, somewhere in the middle of the second quarter, and then the game will just fly by, and then I can get home and watch the last 4 or 5 innings of the Red Sox game. So it should be a pretty easy win for Vanguard Friday night.
So be honest, will you have it on your phone every now and then just to take a peek?
No. For 2 reasons. 1, my phone is also the camera, but 2, I can't do that. There's few things that I completely focus on when I'm doing them, and one of them is play-by-play.
Oh, that's good.
A lot of other things I can do, multiple things at a time. I can hear someone talk and speak at the same time. That's a trait I learned while I was in TV. But when I'm doing play-by-play, because it takes so much focus, and that I can only do that.
Oh, you're to be commended, Galen. And you also said homecoming is tomorrow for Vanguard High School.
Sure, that's right. So there's been all kinds of activities. Apparently, my son is Merlin. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I think he's like some kind of. I think he's like the MC of something, and I'm like,
okay.
I literally said, "Yeah, why are you doing that?" And my wife looked at me and just started laughing. I was like, "What?" She goes, "Really? Really?"
Well, help us understand.
Like,
I don't understand either. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I MC everything, so I didn't think that he had any interest. And I mean, I had him doing voiceover work when he was 7, for different things we were doing at the Blood Center. And, so
Merlin is the MC.
Right.
And is that a name he picked?
No, it's a traditional thing.
Oh, okay.
So Merlin's the magician of the Knights of the Round Table.
Right. Okay.
So he's like the master of ceremonies.
Oh, I got it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that is.
Don't worry, I didn't get it at first either, so I should have explained it better.
All right, we have to.
So, but it was a big deal with my wife because she went to Vanguard, and
okay.
Merlin was a big deal. So
Merlin was a big deal. Were you ever in the running to be the king of the prom? What do they call it? Prom king? What do they call it?
King and queen.
Yeah.
The court, the queen and the king.
Well, you wouldn't be both.
I certainly wasn't. No. No. Just look at my high school photos. No, I got nothing. I know.
All right, how is the blood supply? Where's the bloodmobile? Thank you, Palm Garden and Penn Flooring. We have to squeeze all the important stuff in a very quick little piece of time.
We're still at a 4-day blood supply, and we're going to be at the Frank DeLuca YMCA today. So just please come by, give the gift of life, donate blood, and our donor center is open right there on the boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard.
Nice.
So please stop by, give the gift of life, donate blood.
All right, get that tire fixed and be careful today, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
You guys are the best.
Thank you,
Bye.
Gail. We'll be right back.
I'm Jan Marino, and it's my great honor to represent Palm Garden as the winner of the Best of the Best contest for rehab 2 years running. Woohoo! It's not easy to meet the needs of our guests, learn their life stories, and exceed expectations